Hey everybody, it's Greg and Bud. We're here Wednesday hump day, February the 7th, 2024. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. Boy, do we have a lot to talk to you about today. A lot going on, a great show. Now we have our classic TV show today. We've been doing this for about a month. It's really fun. And we're going to talk about another classic TV show today. See if it brings back a lot of memories. Bud is here. Say hi, Bud, my friend. Now, Bud, I think I told you last week. Bud's experiencing a little bit of sunlight these days. So tonight, we give Bud extra TLC. Because when it gets dark, he gets scared. So do I. I don't like the dark either. Right, Bud? You and I are, look at hi there, bitty. Yes, Bud. Rescue guy. That's it, a little rescue. So, no extra TLC for the Budster at night. Sarah's there. Good guy. Over there, yeah, you know what I'm talking. He's a sweetheart, though. I love him. He's my buddy. So, today, National Elf Fettuccine Alfredo. I could say the damn thing. Fettuccine Alfredo there. Buncha. So, have some fettuccine Alfredo. I would, but I'm on this diet now. And it's working. I look better, I feel better. And fettuccine Alfredo a little heavier. Yeah. So I think I'll pass today. But by all means, you go and have it. Right, Bud? Woke up this morning, a little sniffly, sneezing. I don't know what the hell's going on here, Bud. So I gotta get a little chicken soup later. Yeah, take care of yourself, whatever. All right. Before we talk about our classic TV show, I gotta tell you what happened. But here's what happened. We went to the mall, to the Apple store. We took a Virtual Pro demo. You know this Virtual Pro? It's these new you took like glasses you put on your head and you see stuff. Well, I'm gonna explain it to you. And it just came out last week. All right, so we got this demo, right? And you gotta sign up. You gotta get a time for it. So we were in the mall, so like 2:00, and we just had to kill about a half an hour. Okay, had the appointment. Got the appointment. They put this gear on, this headset, these goggles, and they were kind of goofy. And the thing is the goggles kept. I'll put my regular glasses on, the regular glasses. The goggles kept sliding down my face like this. See? So I couldn't really see anything because I was like seeing regular stuff and looking through the game. So they had to adjust that. I guess my head's too big. And once I got him on, it was like a black tunnel. I got scared at first. And then I said, no, this is okay. They showed me little like 6 dots going away. And you got this thing. It is amazing. You're working with your eyes and your ears, okay? And they first told me on signals to move something. Say you do this with your fingers, right? First of all, before they do anything, they they examine your eyes, so they know who you are. So you got to look at all these different colors of in a circle of little dots, and you do this with your fingers to hit on it. And then your hand prints, just Robin's trying to standard if you're doing lessons. Okay, so that's all done, and I qualified, and I got through. So you see this black tunnel, and then you see this like the goggles, and then they start showing stuff like hello, and it's written out in the air. It's like, did you ever see that movie, Polar Express, where they had the CGI, where the characters are like 3D, like the words are in the air, flying around and stuff? That's what it is. So I got, hello, and it says hello to me. And then it shows the different apps. Oh, scrolling is like this, which you can just like you scroll your tablet or your phone, right? Like this. If you put your two hands together and separate them, that's something I forget now. But the basic thing is you got to do this with your fingers to do stuff. Okay, all controlled with your eyes and your hands. Anyway. Oh, Bud wants a treat. Am I surprised? He's my buddy, so he's getting a lead treat here. And these are really good. I snack on them myself. So here's the thing. So I'm starting to do this thing, right? And they're showing me all kinds of pictures. Like you're on the moon. I mean, honest to God, there's a picture of the moon in front of you, and then you do this, which brings it closer, and it's a panoramic view, and you feel like you are on the moon. I mean, you don't have like an oxygen tank or breathing oxygen or anything like that. It's just you feel like everything around you, instead of looking on the floor or the floor of the Apple store, it's the ground of the moon. You almost feel like you want to reach down and get some moon dust and touch it and play it. So, but it's really really weird. Oh my God. And basically that's what this thing is. It puts you into the picture. So let's say you have a picture of Bud up there on the screen. And I do this. I jump into the picture with Bud. It's kind of cool. And then all kinds of other stuff. Like we were in Iceland and it says, welcome to Iceland. And you go in there with the picture and there are the fjords and there are the mountains, and the trees and the forest and everything like that. It is kind of cool. And then the neat thing about it was the guy was like a young guy helping me. What are the agents or whatever called? Now they're still learning how to do it too. So, once they got the goggles on my big head, it was they had to get it fired up, and they couldn't. They thought they had a defective machine. So they finally got us fired up. And he's telling me what to do every step of the way. I said, okay. So he said, put out your hand. Just don't do this, just put it out. And I said, okay. So I do this. And here a butterfly, beautiful butterfly, flies in from the top of the screen, flies around, and lands on my friggin' hand. I'm not kidding. I swear to God, it landed on my friggin' hand. And I was like, whoa. And then it flew away on its own. I didn't kill it. It flew away on its own, and it flew out of the screen. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then what happened was at the end, all right, we were coming down to the end. They give me like a 30-minute demonstration, just to show you what it's like. They try to get you to buy it, $3,500. I said, no way. And, the plan was, let's go in there, let's do demonstrations, and then let's get the hell out of here, right? Because, I don't have $3,500 to waste. Shit, I don't. And the other thing is that it's okay if you have $3,500 laying around your house. I don't. But, if I had $3,500 up the tree, here you go, big guy, laying around, I wouldn't spend it on that because basically it's you could do everything that you do there, but it's on your tablet or your phone. It's just it's amazing that you are in the picture. You are instead of looking at the phone, you are in the phone. It's hard to describe it, really. But here's what happened after me. Here's how my session ended. It didn't end very gracefully, I have to tell you that. So what happened was the guy shows me another scene. And it's a scene with rocks, very rock strewn, cliffs and rocks all very rocky. All of a sudden, out from underneath one of these rocks comes a little dinosaur, like a little tiny person, little tiny, like me. It comes out and it's like squeaking. It must have just been bored because it's not giving you, it's giving you that kind of thing. And it's out there and it's really cute. And you want to kind of, I didn't want to touch it, but you want to kind of, because it's really cute. Next thing you hear the stomping. And from the left, into the picture comes this mother dinosaur. It's big, just almost like a dirty pink skin. You could see the scales, so real. And you're right there, you see it. And so you enjoying that, bud? Everybody can hear you chomping right there with your one tooth. Anyway, so the dinosaur's there looking around, smelling around, I guess looking for her baby. All of a sudden, the dinosaur notices me in the picture. The dinosaur comes right up to me, right up to the screen, face to face, and starts smelling. Not happy, not happy that because the baby's there and I'm interfering. So this is smelling me, smelling me. And I'm like, what the hell? I took a shower today. What the hell? This dinosaur started getting agitated. And I kept telling to myself, Greg, it's not real. Greg, it's not real. It's IA. It's just not real. It's not real. Get a hold of yourself. It's not real. Bye, bud. Bye. So I just got panicky because the fake dinosaur came right up to the screen and started getting agitated, like, ah. And I hit the accident show. And the guy said, what are you doing? And I said, I had to get the hell out of here. I was scared. And he starts laughing, and his face starts to turn red, this young kid, this young punk kid. But he had hair down to his shoulders. But he was a nice guy. So that was it. That was the end of the experience. I would say, I would think it's the wave of the future. You watch. People are going to be walking down the street. They're going to modify. It's not going to be such a big, bulky screen and goggles. As competition, as technology evolves, it's going to be like regular eyeglasses. You wear it, then you could click the button and you're back to normal, looking around, right? Walking down the street. You click it and you're on your computer. And that's the idea. You don't have to be chained to your desk to a PC. You're not going to even have to use your phone. You're not going to have to use the tablet. These glasses that you wear or carry around, you do that and your computer's right there. And you can do stuff with it, just like a laptop. Only it's on your face. Like I said, I think in the future, maybe everybody will have these and they won't cost $3,500 like anything else. The more we see it, the more competition out there, the price will lower. So maybe in a year or two, it'll be like $200, And maybe you think about getting one just for the kicks. Me, I'm not. I'm okay with it. I can live without it, But hey, that's the future, right? What are you gonna do? All right, so here's the show, right? Our classic TV show of the week. Now, when I sing this theme song, you're gonna know it right away. And I kind of there's two different lyrics to the when the show begins and when the show ends. So this may be, Bud, you're gonna love this. This may be a mishmash, a mashup, as the kids said, a mashup of the two. So I'll try my best. But keep in mind, I'm 113 years old and my memory is gone. All right, Bud, we're gonna try this. Ready? Before we talk about the show. Come, that's right back in your ear, a tale of a fateful trip that started on the sun of the that board is tiny ship. That Nick was a sailing down. The skipper, brave and strong, and after that for 3 hour tour, a 3 hour tour. So now it's the last one. Seven castaways here on Gilligan's Island. Yes, it's Gilligan's Island. Yes, that's what we're talking about today. Gilligan's Island. Oh my, you know, I used to watch that all the time growing up. It was a funny show and it still is. And it was a clean show. It was a family show. It was, you didn't have any of this dirty stuff that's going on the cable street. You didn't have that stuff. It was clean fun. It was about 7 castaways on a deserted island and how they're coping on there. And so I wrote down a few notes, but I did my research last night. So I'm just going to go through these, okay? So the Gilligan's Island was on between 1964 and 1967, 3 seasons. And it was canceled, and we're going to talk about cancellation a little bit later, but it was canceled because Gunsmoke. Now, Gilligan's Island was on Monday night. I don't know if you realize this or not. Gunsmoke was on a Saturday, but Gunsmoke was not getting good ratings. So CBS, in their infinite wisdom, decided to try to move Gunsmoke to another night. Now, all intentions were that Gilligan's Island, which were getting decent ratings, they weren't top 20 like when it started, but they were good, solid ratings. Everybody in the cast thought they were coming back for a 4th season. They had the shows written. They were on vacation, the cast, but they were ready to come back and start filming season number 4. At the last moment, CBS decided to put Gunsmoke on Monday nights to give it another try, and they canceled Gilligan's Island. They canceled it. They didn't even move it to another night. They canceled the damn thing. And so these poor cast members found out about it at the last minute. How about that? Huh? Oh, Jesus. So, they asked Bob Denver, who played, no relation to John Denver, Bob Denver, who played Gilligan, what was Gilligan's first name? What is the name Gilligan? Is that a first name or is that a last name? And he said, well, I'm not sure. He was on this talk show in the late 80s with Sherwood Schwartz, who was the producer and the creator of Gilligan's Island. And he did other shows later on too, including the Brady Bunch. So he was on with Sherwood Schwartz, and he said, what do you think Gilligan's name is? I always thought Gilligan, his first name should have been Willie. And Sherwood Schwartz looked at him and said, yeah, it sounds good to me, Willie. So officially, Gilligan's first name was Willie, and the Gilligan was his last name. A lot of people said, so what did the castaways eat when they were on the island? No, there was no chicken or anything like that, right? What did they eat? Well, they always talked about there was a lot of bananas there. It was on a tropical island in the Pacific Ocean. So there were a lot of banana cream pies. The woman made a lot of banana cream pie. Seafood, of course, tropical drinks. That sounds good. Salads and coconut. A lot of coconut there. And I wouldn't have liked that. I'm not a big coconut guy. So Gilligan's Island was filmed, some of it was filmed in Hawaii, and some of it was filmed in the studios in Los Angeles, the CBS studios. In fact, when they started filming the series away from Hawaii, it was on the same soundstage as the Mary Tyler Moore Show. How about that, huh? Yeah. Gilligan's Island ran for 3 seasons, 98 episodes. So that's quite a few. You want to go through that. We talked about Sherwood Schwartz. He created the Brady Bunch, which maybe we'll talk about someday. Gilligan's Island was on CBS. The first season, it was filmed in black and white. I don't know if you've ever done it. Filmed in black and white. The last 2 seasons went to color. I like barely remember the black and white episodes, really, honestly. To me, ep- for what my memories are of Gilligan's Island, and it's still on, if you check a lot of the streaming and the cable. I only remember it being in color. But so we'll talk about some of the characters, okay? Thurston Howell the Third. Everybody said he was rich. He was this rich guy. He was a billionaire. How did he make his money? He made it on Wall Street. Wall Street, one of these tycoons. Ginger Grant, the movie star, patterned after Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield. Actually, the part was offered to the real Jane Mansfield. Can you believe that? She declined. She said, I don't want anything to do with this. And so they ended up hiring Tina Louise. And actually, she is the only cast member still alive. Tina Louise is 90 years old, God bless her. And, she seems like a nice lady. Although at the time, there were a lot of rumors that she didn't get along with a lot of cast members. She was sort of what you call a difficult actor. She was always arguing with the producers. She wanted this, she wanted that. Maybe she was had a little bit of diva. You know what I'm saying? But Tina Louise, well, we're going to talk about this in the Marianne and Ginger thing. I'm going to tell you who I meet to and who I still meet. And then the professor. Remember the professor? His real name, Ginger Grant, his real name was Roy Hinckley. Roy Hinckley was his real name. Marianne. Oh, look, Marianne. Oh. The farm girl, right? Farm girl, her last name was Summers. Marianne Summers. And she was it was divulged. All these little facts were divulged one time or another on the show. She came from Winfield, Kansas, a corn-fed Kansas girl. Yeah. The kind of girl you want to kind of roll in the hay. I'm just saying. The skipper, what was his real name? Skipper's real name was Jonas Grumby. Grumby, not Gumby. Not Gumby like the stretchable green guy. I'm Gumby, damn it. Remember that? Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live. I'm Gumby, dude. No, Grumby. Jonas Grumby was the skipper's real name. And Lovey, the wife of Thurston Howell III, her maiden name was Lovey Wetwood. Lovey Wetwood. Sounds very, very classy and dignified, doesn't it? Well, they shot the pilot for Gilligan's Island. But the pilot wasn't actually shown for 29 years. Why is that? Because the pilot had different characters. Not only different actors, different characters. In the pilot, they had in the cast, they had 2 secretaries and 1 high school teacher. And they decided to get rid of that, and they decided to go with the Marianne character, the farm girl, the Ginger Grant, the Hollywood movie star, and the professor. So the pilot wasn't shown until 29 years later. TBS got a hold of it and showed it one night. So that was kind of interesting. Yes, 2 secretaries, high school teacher, as I said. Oh, here's Bud. Hey, this sucks. I'm getting out of here. This sucks. I can't. I'm getting bored. Let me go. all right, but I'm almost done. We're talking about Gilligan's Island, damn it. All right, so usually there was like 3 different plot lines of the show. The show could be talking about life on the island, you know, how they go and they all had uh, they wash the clothes and they use coconuts or they do this and that. Everything was, you know, they had to build the huts, different life on an island. I don't know what the heck it did. But a lot of it was about being rescued, you know, which always failed. And then there were always visitors to Gilligan's Island. And you know, the curious thing about this is all these visitors he used to show up on the island, like the Harlem Globetrotters, all of a sudden showed up, or you know, some famous person showed up on the island, or somebody who got lost at sea. They showed up at the island. None of these people offered to help the castaways get off the island. They just turned their back on them and said, "To hell with you! I'm getting out of here. I don't care." That was that nasty. Oh God! You know, and the castaways tried. They tried. They built rafts. The one episode, the skipper and his little buddy Gilligan had on a raft to try to go get help, and they ended up landed on their own island on the other side of the island until they figured that out, you know, and ran into the rest of the castaways. They tried. Gotta give them credit. They tried. There were a lot of dream sequences in the show too. And that let the characters change clothes, you know, because they all wore the same clothes practically. Gilligan had his red shirt on, his what we call a bucket hat now. You know, when you go to the baseball games, bucket hats. Gilligan kind of had one of those, a white one, and the skipper had his blue T-shirt on, you know, his shirt, and they all kind of wore the same stuff. You know, they did have a suitcase. I mean, all the maroon passengers, but they were already supposed to go on this 3-hour tour when the boat got into a storm, and that's how they shipwrecked on this island. You know, so they didn't take a lot of clothes with them, right? So they kind of had to wear what they had. Well, the cast got bored with that, and they said, "Let's do something different." So they would have different dream sequences, where usually involving Gilligan. Gilligan would be a vampire. I remember that episode. Gilligan would be an astronaut, and it let all the other cast members play different roles. You know, and they were a very talented cast. Don't get me wrong; they were very talented. This is an interesting fact. When they were shooting the pilot from Gilligan's Island, one of the last days of shooting in Hawaii, because they were one location at that time, was the day John F. Kennedy was assassinated. November 22nd, 1963. Well, what happened during the shooting, the cast heard about it. They stopped all the shooting. They were listening to it on the radio. And everybody there, the crew and the cast, were together listening to the radio for all the details about JFK being shot. And if you notice, in the pilot episode, if you ever see the pilot episode, when the boat pulls away from the harbor and goes out to sea for the 3-hour tour, which turns into like a 3-year tour, the flag on the boat is lowered at half mast. Why? That's for JFK. There you go. Couple more things. Bud, I'm almost done. You can come back in. He doesn't know good podcasting is. You know, okay, here's about the cast, about the actors, a little bit about and what happened before I wrap this baby up. Gilligan was originally, the role was originally offered to Jerry Van Dyke, Dick Van Dyke's brother. He turned it down. Why? Because he got a part in another role which he think was going to be even a bigger show called My Mother the Car. Yes, it was about his mother who died, and she was reincarnated as his car. What the hell? That was one of the worst shows ever on TV. Jerry Van Dyke did not make a good decision. God rest his soul. You know, so they settled on Bob Denver because Bob Denver was in Dobie Gillis. Later, G. Krebs, the hippie, the beatnik. And so they settled on Bob Denver, who turned out to be this bubbling character on the show. Well, Bob Denver always reminded me of Jerry Lewis. Not the maniacal, crazy Jerry Lewis, who's running around and the high voice. But, the bumbling ways. Gilligan was sort of a Jerry Lewis, the toned down Jerry Lewis. You know what happened to Bob Denver? He lived to be 80. He lived to be 70, but here's the thing. He was a heavy smoker. Very heavy smoker. Damn cigarettes. That's what Johnny Carson said. I told you that. His very last words on this earth, because he had emphysema around that. That's what killed him. And he was a heavy smoker. Johnny Carson's last words were damn cigarettes. So, poor Gilligan smoking too. And he died from heart disease too. Lovey, Natalie, what is her name? The lady who played Lovey. She was only 63 years old when she played that role. She looked a little older, didn't she? But, she was always well-dressed, very dignified, very nice lady. She had it in her contract that she was not to have any close-ups for whatever reason. I think she was something about her age. She was a little self-conscious, She actually signed up for Gilligan's Island because she thought the show would not last. She signed up for Gilligan's Island to get a free trip to Hawaii. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It turned out the show lasted, and she became an icon just like the rest of the characters did. And we talked about Tina Louise. She actually had a beef with the producers because she was under the impression, rightfully so in the life, that she was going to be like one of these main characters, like Gilligan. Maybe they were going to call the show Ginger's Island. Yeah, it just doesn't have the same ring, does it? Ginger's Island. So she was a little ticked off when she found out that her role was going to be secondary. But you know what? She lives in infamy now, right? She is again, she's the only one still living, God bless her. And Ginger and me. Well, when you say I gotta introduce this before we get Ginger in there, yeah. Well, the debate still goes on. If you were alive back then, or even if you're watching the Gilligan's Island down on syndication or reruns, are you a Ginger guy or a Mary? You can't be both. You can't be both. It's like chocolate ice cream and vanilla, right? You got to pick one. Maybe you like both, but you got to pick one. All right, so here's the thing. I was never a Ginger. No offense to her. No offense, Tina Louise. If you're watching this out there, no offense. I thought you were beautiful. You were a tall, sexy dribbler. Really. But I was more of a Ginger guy. A Mary Ann guy. I was a Mary Ann guy. I just liked her wholesomeness. She seemed like somebody you would want to get to know. The girl next door. The girl you could bring home your mom. You know what I'm saying? Probably a little wild there, you know what I'm saying there. But nice, sweet girl. And it's Dawn Wells, who played her, was a Miss Nevada at one time. Really a beautiful girl. And she got the role over Raquel Welch. Can you believe that? And Pat Priest. Pat Priest was the blonde who went on to play Marilyn in The Munsters. Well, she was one of the finalists to play Marianne in Gilligan's Island. So was Raquel Welch. Could you believe that? You would have had Raquel Welch and on Gilligan's Island, whatever. So Dawn Wells got the part, and she just died in 2020. She was like 83. Very sweet girl. In fact, she developed a brand of clothing for people with disabilities. I mean, that tells you all you need to know there, right? All right, so I just for the record, in case you're keeping the tabs on this and writing it down, I was a Marian. And then, the professor, Russell Johnson, he was actually a bombardier in World War II. He flew on 44 combat missions. In fact, Russell Johnson was shot down over the Pacific. Isn't it ironic that he fought over the Pacific and he ended up in a TV show set in the Pacific? Huh? Russell Johnson was shot down. His plane was shot down. And when he landed, he was okay, but he broke both of his ankles. Both ankles broke. But he was awarded the Purple Heart, and he was a hero. He was, Russell Johnson. And he was in some movies even before, and TV shows. He did a lot of TV shows before Gilligan's Island as a guest star, like The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits. He was in there too. Yeah, we talked about Dawn Wells. All right, so here's the thing. Yeah, and it was canceled unexpectedly in 1967. Still getting solid ratings. Still beating, the competition for Gilligan's Island on Monday at 7:30 on NBC. You know what show was opposite it? The Monkees. Yes, and I love the Monkees. I love their music. I love the show. But Gilligan's Island was kicking their ass. They were kicking their ass. All right, so that's it. That's our Gilligan's Island wrap. Huh? Did you like it? Huh? Did you learn something? I did. I learned a lot by doing this research. And you know what? It's still a great show. And you had the reunions after that. You had the, escape from Gilligan's Island, rescue from Gilligan's Island, where they actually were rescued. And, when we were watching this show back in the 60s, every week, we were thinking, are these people ever going to get off this island? Wouldn't it be cool if they had a show with the castaways getting rescued? Because every week you would, 98 episodes, huh? You would watch this show and you would say, God, it would be great if they were rescued. You really got into it. I mean, your heart and soul, you felt bad because these people were stranded. They made the best of good. They had improved pie, but, they couldn't get off the island. Well, they actually had a TV movie where they got off the island, where by circumstances they ended up back on the island again. Jim Backus, we know Jim Backus. What a great guy, great actor, comedian. He did Mr. Magoo. The voice. He was actually the first member of the cast of Gilligan's Island. Excellent. And then they had reunions, the Harlem Globetrotters visit Gilligan's Island, blah, blah, blah. And most of the cast members participated, all but Tina Louise. See, there was a problem there, wasn't there? Huh? She had this beef with the producers. I don't want to say the word diva, but the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? And the thing is she was the only one who did not participate in a lot of these reunions things they say, or TV movies afterwards. Yeah, yeah. But Bob Denver did as much as he could. They said the skipper, Alan Hale Jr., whose father was an actor. If you remember the adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, 1939, with Earl Flynn, what a great picture that was. His father played Little John, big guy. Father looked just like him, just like him. In fact, when I was growing up, I thought that was the real Little John, but that was his son who played the skipper. They said, Alan Hale got a restaurant, sort of like a seafood shanty place in LA after the series ended. And he kept dressing up as the skipper, and he would meet people coming in for dinner, sign autographs, That sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? You go in and you meet the skipper. Hey, little buddy, I hope you enjoyed a flounder. So anyway, yeah. So it sounds really the cast members seem pretty cool. All but her. Anyway, so that's our Gilligan's Island tribute today, huh? I wish I would have been able to sing the song better. That's the way good. Bud never came back. Look, he said, I had enough of this. And I guess you had enough of this too. Well, thank you for tuning in and listening to the Gilligan's Island tribute today. Next Wednesday, we'll have another classic TV show to talk about. And maybe I'll actually be able to sing the theme song. Everybody have a great day, huh? I'm going to try to get better here. Maybe I can take a swig of, you know what? No. None of that. Maybe a little honey for my throat, something to clear myself up. Maybe a little Vicks vapor rub. I could rub on my chest. There, huh? I wish Dawn Wells was still around. I'd invite her to come over and rub some of Vicks vapor rub on my chest. Anyway, all right, everybody. You have a great day today. Be safe and have fun. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And tomorrow is Thursday, and we're going to start talking about the Super Bowl. I have a pretty good idea who I'm going to pick. I do. And I have a pretty good idea of maybe some prop bets that hopefully will be winners. So we're going to talk Super Bowl the rest of the week and whatever the hell else we think of to talk about. It's a great show that YouTube puts out. Thank you, YouTube. Bye. All right, everybody. Have a great day today. Take care. Peace and love, everyone. See you. Thanks for watching. I can get that. I always have problems signing off. That's like YouTube doesn't want me to problem.